If you were to ask me what's the next trend over the course of the next 5 years in sports betting, my response would be live betting. Whether it's live arbitrage betting or live positive expected value betting, you can find insanely profitable opportunities attacking these sports books. So in this video, we are going to equip you with the top tips and tricks that you want to set yourself up with when live betting. And then we're going to go through the breakdown on OddsJam with their arbitrage and positive EV tool, go through the filters and specifically explain my setup, how I like to attack these books. The first tip, and it sounds simple, but we want to start with a conservative wager size when live betting. If you're new to OddsJam software or live betting in general, we don't want to be very aggressive early on. We want to get some reps in, get a feel for how these sports books and this software works before we level up. The next obvious statement, live betting is a lot faster than pregame betting. So understand that you're not going to be able to gobble up every single play that pops up on the screen. You're going to miss out on opportunities. This is a part of the game. And sometimes it's not that you did anything wrong. You have the play pulled up, you're ready to go, and then boom, it gets suspended. So just understand with the mindset that you're going to miss out on some plays. It's going to be a lot faster than what you're normal to. But that's why we're going to start with a conservative approach. And what we're going to go through in our filter setup here is going to make things a lot easier for you moving forward. The next tip, it's not a necessity, but it can make your life so much easier if you're serious about live betting, whether it's arbitrage or plus EV, is having an extra monitor or an extra third or fourth monitor. This will really make life easy for you. As you can see here in my setup, me sitting in the hot seat, I have a Dell curved wide monitor off to the left-hand side. I have the sportsbook screen, two different browsers on the left, and then the positive EV live tool on the right-hand side. And then on my MacBook, I am logged into my different sportsbooks ready to go. The third tip, and this is going to be really the approach here on out, is we are going to zoom in to multiple different areas. And that first area is going to be take a look at the sports calendar. What's going on today? If this is like today, we got college basketball, I got the NBA, I got the NHL, we got a lot going on. Let's focus on one league or a few games and just dive into that. So then the next thing that we're going to want to do is focus on what sports books do we want to pull up and log into, right? So I have roughly 30 sportsbook accounts to my name, right? When it comes to live betting, I only have 4 or 5 sportsbooks that I'm logged into when live betting. So first for my arbitrage bettors, let's jump into OddsJam's tool. Let's jump into the filters and show you exactly the setup. All right, so we're over here on the OddsJam arbitrage tool. I'm currently on pre-match. We're going to come over here to live. And before we even jump into any plays or bets, we want to set up our filters. Now, guys, linked in the description will be a 1-week free trial to OddsJam, and then use my code BILLYC, and it's going to save you 35% off your first month after your trial ends. So you will first want to figure out what sportsbooks are we going to attack with arbitrage betting. I would argue that you would want to keep this to 3 or 4 sportsbooks. And especially sportsbooks like FanDuel and DraftKings that offer the one-click bet feature, as you can see right here on the right-hand side. I'm also going to tee up Fliff. Now, Fliff is one of my favorite books to live bet with because, especially for arbitrage betting, we automatically know the limits with Fliff. If I come over here and pull up Fliff, what we're going to notice is that if I just maybe pull up an NHL play here, looking at the Jets and the Penguins, maybe the Penguins on the money line, I click the max bet right here. It's a max wager of $500, right? Now, when it comes to college basketball, and I'm looking down here, maybe Miami against Oklahoma State, it's a little bit different with college basketball. The max wager is $250. But this makes life a lot easier for arbitrage betting because now we automatically know what the max wager is depending on what sport. So I like to keep Fliff as a book logged into. So outside of DraftKings and FanDuel, I would also argue that maybe Fanatics would be another great book to log into, or pick another sports book that we can kind of have logged into on our phone. So we're going to pull up the desktop versions for FanDuel and DraftKings up here. We're going to have on our phone another sports book, and then Fliff is going to be off to the side. And these are just going to be the 4 sports books that we're going to focus on. Now, in terms of your minimum maximum percentage, this is again a choose your own adventure. With arbitrage betting, you can find some really great edges. So I can make the argument for 3, maybe 5% minimum on some of these ARBs. And then naturally, the next thing that we want to do is figure out what sport we are going to focus our attention on. And for this example, we are going to focus on college basketball. Outside of that, another little important feature right here. If you're struggling early on with arbitrage betting, then click off of live and focus your time and efforts on stoppage. So whenever it's halftime or maybe a commercial break, you're going to see arbitrage opportunities pop up for stoppage. This is going to allow you more time to attack these plays than when you're betting on live. So the problem that a lot of new OddsJam users run into when they start their live betting journey is there's so many profitable plays, but it depends on the sports book, the sport, and the market. So number one, you're not logged into all of the sports books that you're trying to attack these plays. Number two, you go from betting on the NHL to college basketball to tennis, and you just don't have the time to bebop around to go through and manually navigate all of this. So whittle this down to a very focused group. Maybe it's just college basketball total points. And maybe you're only going to focus on 3 or 4 games at that. Taking the time to set up your filters is very crucial. And when you're starting out on your live arbitrage betting journey, you want to focus specifically on college basketball. And the reason being is there's less options that we can wager on compared to the NBA. So there's less markets, which really simplifies the process. And that's the whole point of this when you're starting out on your journey. So you just want to focus maybe on the total points, point spread, or money line markets for college basketball, and that's going to make life a lot easier for you. Over here on the live section for the positive expected value tool, the setup's going to be a little bit different. Again, for the minimum percentage of ROI you're willing to accept here, I would argue that you should start at least 4, if not 5%. Then for our sports books, unlike arbitrage betting, we don't need to execute 2 bets on 2 books. So here you can even whittle this down even further. Early on, guys, again, this is if you're new to live betting, make this really simple. Maybe just have FanDuel and DraftKings teed up right here. Then what we want to go ahead and do is deselect everything and focus on college basketball. And then outside of that, we can look at the minimum maximum odds here. Maybe you're just wanting to go after minimum odds of -130 and maybe the maximum odds of +130. Outside of that, again, we can focus on the live and the stoppage. We see a great opportunity here with the under 156.5 over at FanDuel. Go ahead and refresh my screen once more. It's sitting right here. Maybe we want to wager $100 on this play, waiting for my location to get verified. Boom. We go ahead and lock in the under 156.5 at +120 odds. And as you can see right here, looking at FanDuel, this is an awesome price compared to the rest of the sports betting market. We're just getting paid out a lot higher than what we should. And because this play was in a stoppage, we were able to snag incredible value. Now, something else, you can see that the recommended bet size is $590. And guys, I am all for the recommended bet size. It definitely takes into consideration how much you should put on this play. But again, I'm new to live betting. So I'm just going to kind of start slow here and wager a smaller amount than maybe I'm accustomed to just to get my feet wet before I up my wager size. Another tool that I love to use for live betting, specifically for positive EV betting, is the sportsbook screen. And for my Platinum Plan users, this is available in your package. So we're going to come over here to college basketball, as I mentioned before. And then the next thing that we're going to do is maybe we'll just focus on total points. And you could see right here, we only have 3 college basketball games going on at the moment. So let's just select these 3 games, right? No need to bogged down with other games that we're not going to bet on right now. Now here in the top right-hand corner, we're going to obviously tee up the sharpest sports book in the world, Pinnacle first. And then we're just logged into 3 different sports books at the moment. We're in on FanDuel. We're in on DraftKings. And we're also in on Fliff. And so what we're going to do, as you can see, with these different books, I'm logged into college basketball on FanDuel. DraftKings is the same, and the same goes with Fliff. So now we're just going to pay attention to Pinnacle, and we're going to see maybe where these sports books are off from one another. And what I'm specifically looking for is a 1.5 to maybe beyond that. So there might be an opportunity right here betting the under over at FanDuel at 157.5 on this Ohio-Portland game. We come over here. Again, maybe I'm new to live betting. Maybe I just do $50 to kind of start out with. Checking the live odds. Boom, we grab that, right? Pinnacle sees the under at -156. We're getting this at an extra 1.5 at the moment. I go ahead and click into the square. boom, I go ahead and find value right away. So then we're just going to continuously chill on this monitor right here to see if we find value. Could be another opportunity to bet that under on that UAB Longwood game right here. But again, I already placed an under on this once. Maybe I don't want to go back to the well. I just want to keep my exposure to 1 or 2 plays. But whittling this down to just 3 sports books, focusing specifically on one market like total points, and then just going after college basketball. Maybe we want to just now focus on the point spread. No problem. Once again, we're just looking at where Pinnacle is compared to the rest of the sports books. Okay, we wouldn't want to take Portland plus 16.5 because, well, we can get this for an extra point at the same price over at FanDuel. This is just a different way that I like the positive EV bet, and we're not necessarily knocking out a ton of bets all at once. We're just taking our time and looking to see if there's some value where we can hop in and smash these bets. Speaking of value, if you found this content valuable thus far, make sure to smash that subscribe button, click that thumbs up button, and also click that bell notification so you don't miss the next video that we release. So to recap, we really want to filter down on everything when it comes to our sport, market, and the sports books that we're using, making sure that we're logged into all of these books so that we're ready to attack. Now, for my arbitrage bettors, taking advantage of that stoppage feature in the filter section is going to make life a lot easier for you, whether it's a commercial TV timeout or halftime. You're going to be able to find different arbitrage plays, and it's not going to seem so difficult at the beginning. If you're serious about jumping into live arbitrage and positive EV betting, then securing a second or third monitor can make your life very easy. Once you start to get your reps in and get the hang of this, that's when you can add more sports books to the mix that you have accounts with, and then also starting to dive into different sports. 2025 is quickly arriving, and you need to check out this betting strategy that is literally my New Year's resolution. Click this video right here that's going to walk you through my 2025 betting strategy. I've already started to employ it and I've seen positive results. You want to make sure that you equip yourself going into the new year with some type of strategy, and this is going to walk you through exactly how to execute it.